Good morning, Central Texas. Welcome to KISS Community Connections, 103.1 KISS FM. And you know what? I'm your host, Phyllis Jones, and I'm my own guest. Isn't that pretty cool? I do that. When I do that is because I have something to put out that I think everybody needs to know. Because when I read it, I didn't like it at all, and I'm still not liking it. But you know what? By myself, I can't do nothing about it. And y'all heard what I said. By myself, I can't do nothing about it. That means that we need to be concerned. You know, so, and also the person at the station, when he hear it, he gonna like, no, you're kidding me, but it's true. Okay, you know, last year, 2016, it was it was really ridiculous about identity theft. It was at an all-time high in 2016. I say 1 out of 16 U.S. adults were victim to some kind of ID theft, one way or the other, through your stores, through a hacker, just your personal data being released. We're all victims of it. But do you know that there's something bigger than that we're victims of? And I don't know if you knew this, but do you know that your driver's license information can be sold? And you are aware that Texas made $2.7 million. They've been making that since 2016 so far, of selling your driver's license information. Just think, our own state, Texas, your driver's license, they've been selling it, and they've made $2.7 million on selling your driver's license information to different people. So we're worried about hacking through going to different stores and like this. Well, look at our own state. They're profiting off selling our information. You know, so we need to address that. Yes, the state statute says that they are supposed to protect us. They're supposed to protect us, our date of birth, and they're supposed to protect a lot of things about us. And on your driver's license now information, you know, everything now is loaded up onto your driver's license. Everything is loaded up on it. So if anybody, you know, checks it and pulls it out, they can actually find everything out about you. But to know that your state is selling it, it's pretty rough, because, you know, that means that we don't have any more privacy. You know, we thought the government was the big guns taking our privacy. Now we find out. Now I'm telling you that our state is doing this too. Texas state law allows anyone to also buy your voter registration records, your driver's license records, and they can sell them to companies, including something just for the course of their normal business. They can actually sell your information out there. Can that be stopped? Of course. The laws can be tightened up to make sure that it doesn't happen again. But then again, you know what? One person can't do it by themselves. So let's just say, you know, you go to the Department of Public Safety, you show your driver's license information, and it's sold to another business, to a grocery store, to a towing company, cosmetic company, a traveling company. Heck, even a circus can buy your information. That's really rough, right? The circus, wow. But anyway, even the circus can come by and say, we want to buy your information, and they sell it to you. And it's not just a person, one person. They can buy all of it. It's all can be sold, you know. So, you know, just remember that right now, your state, our lovely state, and I know there's many other states that your driver's license, like I said, information can be sold. So, you know, let's, like I said, still worry about your identity theft. You know, be careful of that. But mindful of, as much as you're protected through identity theft, Texas is going to just sell your information, and it's out there. So, you know, sometimes when you get these weird phone calls and strange mail, sometimes it's because they bought your information and they know more about you than you think they know about you. So they're actually have full rights to call you and talk to you, because, like I said, they got your information right in front of them. So your security is being sold, not so much hacked. It's being sold by anybody who wants it. And like I said, can we change it? Yes. How do we change it? Through getting laws put together to do it, through writing it up in a way that we need it done so we can get rid of it. Because how far is it going to go? Like I said, if you pay attention now, you know, people will ask you for your driver's license and they scan it. Well, when they scan it, all your information's on there. Your life is on your driver's license. You know, first used to be only what was on the front of your car was the only thing in your driver's license. That was how it was before. And that's how a lot of us think it still is. You think that, you know, that little, what's on there is there, but, you know, right now there's a barcode on the back of your driver's license, and in that barcode is your life. And just to let you know that yes, your state is selling it, and you do have a couple of your legislators, or our legislators, who are actually trying to change that because they didn't believe that that could be done. They didn't even know it could be done. In fact, when you talk to them, we talked to them last year about it. We found a little bit about it. They didn't even know it was done. So they did some investigation. They did some digging to find out that they can sell it, and they can. In many ways, they try to say that DPS was doing a breach, was breaching your information, you know, by giving it up. But in Texas, it's legal. It's not a violation of. They thought it was a violation of the Texas Motor Vehicle Records Disclosure Act, but it isn't. It's not. It's not protected under there. So, and just to let you know, in 2016, 500 companies purchased the information about us, about our who we were, who we are, and all of our information. So that's something that I think we need to know about, and we need to stop it because, like I said, we're worried about being hacked, and like I said, you should be. And we're also worried about, you know, going to different stores in the paper we've heard, and different credit card companies, you know, being hacked. Well, we're being sold too. So as well as being hacked by them, we're being sold outly. And that's something we can't stop right now. We can't do anything about it right now because it's out there. And I'm telling you that to lead up to something bigger. Our President of the United States, it really pains me to say that word, but anyway, he has an election commission and is formed. And the other job for the election commission is to tell every state that they want your voters' information, all of it. And your voters' information is basically the same thing as getting your driver's license, except for your voter information will tell them not only did you vote, it will tell them how you voted. And he's demanding that information given to him from each state. So far, Texas has said no. They've said no. We don't know how long the no is going to happen because, you know, when anybody does something against what our president is saying, something else is going to happen. So eventually Texas might lose it. But as far as right now, is the Texas State NAACP is filing a complaint, and they're going to file a lawsuit against that because, once again, our information is going to be given away. It won't be sold this time, be given away. But there's no reason for any election commission to have the information on how you voted and who you voted for, because then we do that comes with the gerrymandering, and gerrymandering is when they redraw the lines, because if I find out that there's a block of people that lives on this side of town, they all in the same district and they all voted for someone else, well, getting my voter information and compiling it all together, I can draw a line through that district to make it weaker, to make it a little lighter than what it actually is. And like I said, that's gerrymandering, that's redrawing the lines. And in 2018, we can change the course of the country because all your congressmen, all your senators are up for election, which is why they're kind of tiptoeing right now, because they know next year they're going to have to either lose, they're going to either win or lose, and it's going to be how they voted on certain things that are up right now. But for right now, what we need to do is join in, and I'll say the fight to say, no, we don't want our information sold and given. We don't want our information sold through our driver's license, and we don't want our commission, this is election commission that our president has put together to get our voters' information. Like I said, that will tell them, one, that you did vote, but it also tells them how you voted. And I think that's private information that we need to keep private. It's enough that, there's an election commission in Texas, in your state, that knows how you voted. But another thing, to give it to our United States government, which is the election commission, is a whole nother thing. So we have to be careful about a whole lot. Time for relaxing and sitting back and going, I'm safe. Wake up. You're not safe. You really aren't. There are things going around us that we don't really know about. And if we pay attention to, from now on, in December, everybody that's running for 2018 has to file. So we'll find out who's running for what and what are they doing. But the minute they file, it's the same time you need to start paying attention to redrawing of the maps, because all of this leads to there. All of the commission that wants your voter information leads to gerrymandering, leads to redrawing the lines, leads to changing who wins and who loses because we've redrawn the lines. So we need to pay attention to those little words when we read them in the paper. When you read the word gerrymandering, when you read the word redrawing the lines, when you read that this district has to be broken up because it's too big, you need to become aware of that. You need to pay attention to it, because you know what? That means something's going to happen. That really does. And it goes to the small levels of your city, to your county, all the way up. All those lines could change. And if you live in, like I say, Killeen, and you, well, such as me, I live in 404. And for years I voted with 404. And Killeen redrew the lines because 404, if you know anything about Killeen, District 4 is your strongest minority living district, and it can actually make or break who wins. The district is pretty powerful. So what did they do? They broke up 404 a little bit there. And 404 is now voting in 403, which is someone else, you know, and that changed the course of things when people came to vote. This May election, people came out to vote for one candidate and realized, you can't vote for him because you're in 403. You're in District 3 now. You're no longer in District 4. You're in District 3. So people were thrown for a loop. But you know what? They did have it in the paper. When they said we have to redraw the lines, people didn't pay attention to that. You know, those buzzwords we just don't pay attention to, because we're saying, okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sure, redraw the line. Yeah, fine. That's okay with me. Go ahead, redo it. We don't understand that when they redraw them, it redraws you out. It redraws a lot of people out. So a lot of people, when they came to our city elections, once again, and they came to vote, they found out they're in District 3 and not District 4. So you know what? Most of them didn't vote. Most of them left because they had been studying one candidate and one candidate only. They weren't thinking about the person running in District 3. They had no thought about that. So they left, and we lost votes. Because when people are confused, sometimes they don't, you know, say, oh, okay, well, let me refocus. No. They were focused on one person. You know, and our county elections are coming up. Our county commissioner and our county judge. So we're going to have to be careful to see what are those lines going to look like. But what are they going to look like? How are they going to change? Because like I said, still in Killeen, District 4 is still strong. District 4 is your strongest and your largest district. Now they broke it up because they used to be 404 and 405. Now there's 412, 408, whole bunch of fours now. And they broke that up a little bit to change the way we vote and to see if it will make anything effective. But still, it's District 4, which is your strongest district. So anyone coming in will have to do a couple of things. Try to redraw the lines in District 4. Now, if you look at your other lines, they did. Do you know that part of District 4 votes with Coryell County? Sounds crazy to me, sounds crazy to you, but they did. They redrew the line. So some of people who live in District 4 vote with Coryell County people, and they invented this district. I'm serious. They invented it because the lines were drawn, but the lines were drawn to take away some of the strength of a district. And what did we do when those lines were drawn? Nothing. Were we told they were going to be drawn? Yes. We were, yeah. They use words, redrawing the lines. They'll never say gerrymandering. Never, ever in life will you hear that word. Never. Which is what they're really doing, but you never hear that word. You hear, we have to redraw the lines. This district is too large. We have to redraw the lines. And you know what? Most people sit back and go, oh, okay, that sounds pretty good. No, it does not. You need to go and look at the maps now and see where the district lines are drawn and your county lines are drawn and your state lines are drawn. You need to go look at the map right now. And then when they say redraw the lines, you need to go get a copy of that map, lay one over each other and figure out, okay, this is exactly what they're doing. Because you know what? Yes, we're beginning to vote more, which is great. It's fantastic. It's terrific. But we got to do more than just vote. We got to make sure that your lines and your districts and your areas are protected by the way they draw them. Like I told you earlier this year, we sued a lot of districts in Texas, but we sued our District 54, which a lot of us live in, for our legislative area, we went after them because the lines now say that we in District 54 and Killeen have more aligned with Lampasas than we do Belton. Well, no, we know we have more in line with Belton than Lampasas. But if you think about the area of Lampasas and you break down who lives in Lampasas and you break down who lives in Belton, you will see why the line is drawn to go toward Lampasas rather than Belton. Because if you're Anglo, you most likely can win the election if it goes to Lampasas, less likely if it goes toward Belton. So I went and testified for that, and I testified that we do have more in common with one city than the other. And I'm going to say why, even though Mel's going to fall out of his chair, but I'm going to just say it anyway. When I testified before the courts, it was interesting. I think everybody should have to go before the Texas federal court and testify, because it's quite interesting. Mel's is shaking his head no, but it really is. Because when I went, yes, I had to do a deposition beforehand. And a deposition, I learned about some people who look like me who gave information to someone who doesn't look like me, some information that it was easy to figure out who gave it because the questions. But anyway, I did a deposition, and then when it was time to go to court, the federal attorney, he wanted me to say that we had more line with Lampasas than we did Lampasas and Cove rather than Belton. He was talking about celebrations, and me being a little smart, let them know that with Belton and us, we celebrate all the holidays. We really do. We celebrate the holidays together, and but when we go toward Lampasas and Copper's Cove, well, let's start with and Gatesville also. If we go to Lampasas on Martin Luther King Day that we celebrate from our area, they have Chattel Day. So, and that's a direct insult because we were once called on chattel, so they have Chattel Day instead of MLK Day. Now, if the kids take the day off, they don't say anything. They just kind of let it go, but they don't have MLK Day. And, if we move down to Lampasas and we go to May, I'm pretty sure, yes, they have a Lampasas Ho Fest, not HOE, but it's HO Fest, and they crown a Caucasian female, Queen Ho. We don't have that festival in Killeen and all the way to Belton. We don't have it, and I brought that up to him, and he didn't take it very well. I don't know why he didn't take it very well. He should have learned it before he talked to me, but obviously he didn't, But I brought that up to him, and he stepped back a bit there. And there's a 3-judge panel, and I looked at the 3 judges because when you're testifying, you're looking at them instead of everybody else. You're looking at them, and I saw them with their laptops, and they found what I said was true because of the look on their face, but those things like that. And you might say that was small, but it wasn't, because so far right now we're at a stay of no map in for District 54, because we're gonna have to go back to court again because the legislator that I went after, which is Scott Cosper, they're gonna come back and fight us again. To which I hope to take more people with me other than just me to testify, because those are the things that we need to do to protect our vote. And that's what it is. We're fighting for our vote, and we're fighting for the fact that we have more in common with one area than the other areas that we do. And it also lets you know the mindset of some of your politicians when they try to draw your lines more to look like them than to look like you, or to make it even out. Because if you if the district is Killeen all the way to Belton, it's minority populated, well, and I won't say minorities because that means less than, but it's populated by a whole bunch of cultures than it is the other way. We're a melting pot of cultures in our area of Bell County than we are with Coryell and Lampasas County. So those things we need to look out for, because in 2018, there's going to be some line drawn nuts out there. They're going to draw some lines that we would not believe, but we need to pay attention to it and know about it, because if we don't, we lose. And we want to know what happened, and we'll say it happened right under your face. You saw it. And like I said, the key words is when they say a district is too large. When you hear in the paper or you hear on the news, they said district is too large, pay attention. Because the next step is we got to break it up. Because they're going to bring that up first. It's too large. And you're going to go, oh yeah, it is really growing. That's what you're going to say, because it is growing. But what you're not going to remember is that, oh, wait, hold it. Now they're going to read you all the lines. Okay, now it's time to get up and go to work and study the maps. I once could care less about a map. I didn't care about a map at all. But when I learned about gerrymandering, I can now read a map pretty good, because I had to learn real fast because it was me that were, it was me and it was us that they were talking about moving. So I'm just saying, remember 2018 is a turn the tide election time, and they're going to turn the tide and attempt to realign, redistribute the lines and make sure that this group is cut out of here and more strength over there. So it goes back to our president wanting this election commission to get your information about who you voted for. So that ties all the way back to there, because if they can tell who you voted for, they then know it's a list, and it's called a van list. The van list costs about $500, and a lot of organizations have the van list. And the van list will tell me, if I look at the van list and pull up, let's just say my area of Killeen, I can find out what household voted and what household didn't vote. I can't find out how they voted, but I can find out that they voted or didn't vote. I can find that out. Now, if I take the list from the election commission and lay it onto that list of the van, now I know those households who voted, but now I know from them getting our voter information from the states, I now know who that household voted for. So now I know that they voted. Now I know who they voted for, because I'm going to lay one list on top of another list, and I come up with some powerful information. Now I come up with, let's move some of these people. Very easily. Let's move some of these people. Let's do that. Let's just move some of those people around. And you know what? That's what's going to happen. And if we sit back and let it, it's our fault, because, we say we're about our rights, civil rights, and we say we're about our keeping things straight, and we talk about it. Well, let's walk it and read it and do something about it, because if we don't, not only do we lose, but our children lose. Because, when we vote, we don't just vote for us, we vote for them too. We vote for tomorrow. And like I said, learn the maps. I challenge you today to go and pull out some maps and look at them. Not just the United States map, but look at the maps of the district you live in. If you live in District 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever you live, look up that district and look at that map and get a copy of that map. You can go to the city and get a copy of the map. Yeah, and you can get a big picture of it, and they'll make you pay like a couple of dollars for it, but you can get it. But get it and pay attention to that map. Focus on it. And when they say, like I said, district too big, time to redraw some lines, go down and get the map what they're talking about. We'll redraw the lines, lay it on top, look at it. In fact, contact your legislator and ask them for a copy. Because guess what? They're supposed to give you one. And I know most of you go, what, really? Yeah, your legislator owes you a copy. If you ask him for a copy of the map for his district, he's got to give it to you. He can't say you got to pay anything for it. He simply has to give it to you. However, email it to you, however you want it, he's supposed to get it to you. So I'm giving you some homework today. First of all, yes, we need to do something about the fact that Texas can sell your driver's license information, and it's a profit for them. I mean, I know every state needs money, but $2.7 million is a lot of money that you've collected through selling my driver's license information to any company, especially the circus. I'm like, really? I laughed at the article because the article says circus. I'm like, for real, really? Ring Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus can buy my driver's license information. What the heck would they do with it? But they're able to buy it. So like I said, we got to make sure a whole bunch of things don't happen. We need to change the fact that they can sell our driver's license information. We need to help support the NAACP's lawsuit to make sure the Election Commission does not get your voter information, which leads to more voter problems that we already have right now. It leads to more. We need to do that, and we need to pay attention to words like redrawing the map, districts too big. All those things we need to pay attention to, because they all come down and it's all against us, the people who actually do it. It's against us. And like I said, you might say it doesn't affect me. Yes, it does. It does every day. And now that I showed you your driver's license is being sold, that affects you every time it's being sold. So I'm like, so nothing is sacred, nothing is private. So don't think that you're all safe. Don't walk around like we got this, because we don't have this. We don't. Just think of a circus having your driver's license information. It's hilarious to think about it. What would they do with it? But They got it. Cosmetic company. Really? You know, a trucking company can get it. Wow. You know, so we're being sold, you know. They to me, I'll say this, I thought slavery was over with, but now driver's license is being sold. So we back in again. We have no control over the master of Department of Public Safety just selling our information off to anybody. I'm curious to find out how much it costs. Just out of curiosity, how much do it cost? Because there's a price on our head again. You know, we thought slavery was over. Now there's a price on our head. You want the information? Pay us, and we'll give you all of it. You know, so we're being sold by them. But we're going to take a break and come back.